All right.
The Laser's going to have his hands full just trying to stay alive for the first 10 minutes of this game.
Yeah, alrighty. We've said their names a lot, spawning down the bottom left-hand side of the map. Playing for Team Liquid, it is uThermal.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of the map from Team Q-Lash, it is Elazer.
Alright, yeah, I mean, both these guys are such... When you think of, like, solid European players, like, pretty much all the guys in the tournament today are very solid, but, like, uThermal, he's been the top Terran for so long. Elazer, he's been one of the top Zergs for so long. And so it's just going to be a fantastic match. Starting off on Cerulean Fall, I think we could have a longer game because it is tougher for Terrans to do that aggression like uThermal likes. And Elazer is a very good defensive Zerg, so we'll just have to wait and see, though. I mean, that's the nature of StarCraft. We can predict what'll happen, but it's really how these guys are feeling, what they want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I do appreciate that Blizzard increased or basically shortened the kind of gearing up time by starting the worker count at 12 instead of 6. It helps a lot, but still, even in these Legacy of the Void matches, there's a little bit of time in ZVT where if there's not a proxy, it's fairly standard. You're going to see a hatch, extractor pool, you're going to see a Reaper expand come out, you're going to see the Reaper do the dance, and then it gets interesting. But for the first couple of minutes here, we've seen this 100 million times. But once a layer goes up, once the factory happens, once the starport starts being built, then we get excited.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, I'm glad to say I wasn't casting back in Wings of Liberty or Heart of the Swarm, so I got off there with not having to fill that. Like, it would be like 3 or 4 or 5 minute downtime before like anything happened back in those days, right? So
yep.
Oh, but,
it was. I mean, I started casting in Heart of the Swarm, and yeah, I mean, there are 5 or 6 minutes where just nothing would happen sometimes in these matchups, just because you spent so much time getting your worker count up, then your expansion goes down later, and that slows down your spawning pool, and it was just bleh. So I'm really happy that they got things started a lot faster. It's very nice.
Yeah, for sure. Now, if we look at the builds, uThermal, Reaper expands standard stuff, but he's already thrown up that second gas. Looks like he'll be making room for a reactor and factory, so I imagine we'll see a starport behind this. As for what else, we just have to wait. He's actually working away on a drone, almost gets one there. But his Reaper's actually getting corralled here by these Lings.
Oh, wow, what a juke. He got out of that. I thought for sure he was going to get surrounded. But Negatory Ghost Rider, the Reaper lives another day. Third base goes down, no problem here. For Elazer getting speed, and natural base finishes here for Liquid Thermal with the starport follow-up. There we go. Landing, Hellion pressure, going to start this sucker now, and then going to start working on, I assume, Stim on that tech lab on the barracks once it's done.
Yeah, it could always be to swap over for the Banshee. Yeah, or it could be like Hellion drop into Stim. We'll just have to, like...
Yeah, so many
options. It's impossible to try and call just because of the nature of Terran these days. It's like the way Terrans want to play the game is that their opponent can't predict it, and so that means neither can we. So, and he is swapping over, so it's either going to be a Raven or it's probably going to be a Banshee. There we are. Cloak on the way too.
Cloak Banshee opening here from uThermal. I like it. And if Elazer, he is absolutely not interested in Overlord scouting at all, which means he just has to throw up a blind Spore Crawler, because if you don't know what's coming, a Cloaked Banshee is definitely an option. And if you get hit without detection, you just lose the game. So at this point, I'd like to see Elazer start throwing up something. There's already a Banshee on the way. Cloak's about 30-40% complete, and
yeah,
Elazer's good enough. He'll throw it down at the exact moment he needs to.
Yeah, of course. I'm not sure he'll cover all of his bases, but he'll probably get like at least one at the natural or the main, if I had to guess, just because you really need at least one. But we'll see. I mean, as you said, yeah, Elazer, not much vision on the map. He's moving out with just like a scouting Zergling now. But there we go. 2 spores are going up. One in the main, one in the natural.
Yep, there it is. As the Banshee starts to move across the map. So yeah, what was I worried about?
You can't doubt these guys, but then when you expect them to do something, they won't. So
I don't need to say this. Clearly, they won't mess that up, and then they do, and then you feel dumb.
Yeah, exactly. But this is actually a pretty scary push. I mean, the Banshee's not here for the harassment. It's here for the aiding in this fight, and the Spore Crawler will have to shuffle forward, I think, because Otherwise, there'll be nothing to deal with this Banshee. There is one building at the base of this ramp, but that's going to get focused down. And yeah, now this Banshee's going to be uncontested. It can sort of just camp here at the ramp and deal with these queens. And now, this is a lot of Hellbats pushing forward. These drones, they're going to have to start evacuating. And this Banshee putting on a lot of damage, but so far we're seeing 4 drones go down. Those Hellbats getting off some nice shots. Elazer's really being thrown into disarray here.
The transfuses, though, are absolutely brilliant, keeping these queens alive. One finally goes down. Actually, 2 going down there as the energy was low.
Yeah,
Banshee's trying to pick off the queens from distance here. 2 Banshees. Oh, some Zerglings. Oh, they finished off one of the Hellbats. The other one alive with very, very few HP.
Yeah, you don't get to be an EU Zerg without being good with transfuse, but now uThermal still has these 2 Banshees, so he's going to be able to pick away at some workers, always wanting to get more and more as the aggressor. Now, Stim follow-up is on the way, though, and he did get up that 3rd CC, so damage-wise, I'd say that it's not fantastic for uThermal. It's another one of those cases. It's like, oh, nothing happened, pretty much, like... But I think Elazer is pretty confident, though, because he did hold that now. And now uThermal has no choice, really, but to go into that macro game, which he may or may not be comfortable with.
Yep. And he's going to go ahead and land that 3rd base now pretty early. A 6.5-minute 3rd for a Terran who has already been aggressive. I mean, Terran players who are watching this are just saying, how does he do this? How is he aggressive? And he's on 50 SCVs, and he has a 3rd base at the 6-minute mark, and just that's why it's uThermal. That's why he's terrifying. That's why he's one of the best Terran players in all of Europe. So tank Marine production here, +1/+1 on the way for the Marines. The infantry stim is now completed. Thank you for the Gameheart interface. And it looks like Elazer's going for that little Roach Ravager deal. Glial Reconstitution has started. Roach is on the way, +1 missile attack and +1 ground carapace. And I'm not a fan of it. I know it works sometimes, but I just feel like its success rate against Terran versus something where you have Banelings it's so different.
Yeah, I mean, look at the number of queens makes me think that Elazer may bring the queens with this attack. Because he knows there's Banshees and there's no real anti-air like Hydras or anything. So I think Elazer, I wouldn't be surprised if he does start marching the queens across the map. If he is going to be going for a big roach attack, he could be going for something really aggressive like this. But these Banshees getting a lot of work done in the main base. 11 drones for Banshees at the 7.5-minute mark is huge. It looks like they will go down. But still, that's amazing. They also get off a fantastic scout, seeing the 4th, seeing the double Evo and the Roach Warren.
Yeah, that slowed down the push from Elazer for sure. Losing 11 drones at this stage of the game means he needs to replace them. It slowed down his ability to make additional roaches and Ravagers. I mean, he's on 4 base, which he's very, very happy about, but having to slow down that push is a bad, bad feeling.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, now he's going to have this 1-1 finishing up, but so does uThermal. And now Elazer is sort of in this spot. It's like, where do I go from here? I mean, he sees the sensor tower on the map, and that's basically Terran's universal sign for, I dare you to come attack me. I'm pretty prepared here. Elazer may go for it, though, but there's 4 tanks right now.
Though. Oh, 4 tanks.
Yeah, even the signature one on the high ground there. I mean, there's not too much of a buffer here. uThermal's bioproduction really was just getting started, but Elazer ate a lot of tank shots, and there's the rest of the bio. I was wondering where that is. All these injured roaches just being slaughtered.
Yeah, man. See the roaches, get tanks. Very simple flowchart.
And uThermal is on double factory, too, so, I mean, that tank count is going up. And the Elazer sticking with these roaches, but he's not going for 2-2, by the way.
Interesting. He's getting burrow and more roaches and Ravagers and stuff, but I don't know about this, dude. How many tanks actually died there? 1 tank went down. +1 attack is on the way for the vehicle on the ground stuff.
Yeah.
A drop thought about moving out and then said, oh, hold on. The entire army of Elazer is here as well. I need every bit of defense against this.
Okay, yeah, the queens have come this time, and this is a big attack for Elazer uThermal. He's got 5 tanks, a 6 getting set up, but the buffer is questionable right now. Are these Marines going to buy time? They're trying to focus down some of the queens here, but more and more tanks getting set up as the others are falling. There may just be enough for uThermal. It's going to be close. I mean, these tanks on the high ground should be enough to seal it from the looks of it.
Yeah, the Marines helping with the DPS from the south as well. Tanks just absolutely wrecking these roaches. There's a handful of units left here for Elazer, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. Marines continuing to stream out. 9 more roaches on the way, just trying to do what they can. Sensor tower goes down, which is kind of a nice win. Oh, tank fire on the roaches. Oh, one of them does get picked off as it tries to retreat from that location. Queen trying to run to Overseer taken down in oversight mode. And once again, it looks like uThermal has held for the time being.
Yeah, very good defense by uThermal. Now, like, just knowing exactly what he needed to do there. Elazer didn't really have a choice but to push in the fact that he canceled or didn't go for 2-2, didn't go for other tech, and from the looks of it, I mean, if you try and fail, try and try again, I guess, but I'm not sure this is going to go any better for him than the last one. There's even a Liberator here to help out now.
Yeah, resources lost 10,000 for Elazer compared to 6,000 for uThermal.
Man, here
He's
he
being
goes.
so cost efficient.
The tanks now have +1 while this is going on. Roach is just getting evaporated as they move in, and GG gets called. Ah, uThermal with a fantastic game.
I'm telling you, man, Roach Ravager is done versus Terran. They know how to handle it.
Yeah, I mean, particularly on a map like that, like, on the smaller maps, I don't mind it at times, but versus someone like uThermal, he does know how to handle it. That was just a fantastic defense setup.
Yep, got the tanks, got the... Sheesh.
All right, the next map is going to be Fracture.
Pretty small map. Good for aggressive Terran play.
Yeah, could be a 2-Rax. I mean, it's a best of 7 TvZ, so I imagine we'll see it at least once. Soul did it on this map too, to great effect, so who knows?
I certainly don't. That's why we cast the games.
Yeah, we're just as much of a spectator as everyone else, so.
Indeed. Let's go ahead. Get uThermal in here, get that thing ready to go. Yeah, I would be shocked, honestly, if Elazer tries to go Roach Ravager against uThermal again in this series. It's just not... just not a thing.
Just not a thing. Yeah, I mean... For the Roach Ravager attack, I don't mind, like, using defensive roaches. Like the Mass Queen defensive roaches and whatnot. I really don't mind it. But when it comes down to just going for these attacks, like, yeah, they are fairly predictable. I mean, a Terran sees roaches and the first thought in their head says, are these going to be used against me? And, yeah, so that just sets uThermal in a good position.
And the tank count was beautiful. He lost a couple, but he did way more damage with the ones that survived.
Alrighty. Still rocking that wolf portrait, spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map. Team Liquid's uThermal. And there's the SCV moving across the... Oh, wait.
Oh, just kidding.
I guess he changed his mind. Alright.
In the bottom right, who is not prepared for a proxy but doesn't have to worry about it either, it's going to be Elazer.
Is that the Terran thing in which uThermal realized that he sent out the SCV too late, or he just changed his mind?
And he's like, well, might as well wall off here.
Yeah, because his SCV was already out. He's like, all right. This is, and I mean, Fracture, it's a very small map. But, like, yeah, it does just take, like, it only takes, like, 8 hexes in order to wall off. And so that's just 2 structures. And now uThermal, another 2 barracks. Are we going to see Reapers? Or is it going to be like... What? I'm not going to try and guess. But...
As is tradition.
Is it going to be just... I mean, he's got the gas, so I mean, it's either going to be for add-ons or Reapers, I think, right?
Yes.
So...
Although I don't know if there's enough gas for multiple Reapers at this stage.
2 racks Reaper can be done off 1 gas. So there's the first Reaper. Yeah, And a third barrack. It's got to be Reapers, right? We'll see like another gas go up. Oh my god, blast from the uThermal. It's 2018. Like, oh my.
I haven't seen one of these in forever.
No.
Very, very true.
Well, I mean, that's that StarCraft thing. Players forget about something, and then maybe they forget the best way to deal with it. But uThermal, such a blast from the past. And look at this, Elazer. He's so worried about proxy barracks. His overlords are on his side of the map, because right now an overlord would be coming in just in time to see this, but they're not. And so Elazer's just going to see the normal Reaper and think, okay, he's playing standard, but then there's going to be more Reapers coming on in.
Oh, this is amazing. Queens are on the way. Lings are here too. There's nothing from Elazer that says he expects what is coming.
Why would you? I mean,
Yeah, that's a good point.
I haven't even seen this build on ladder for like so long. Just like no one does this anymore.
Nope. And here comes the double Reaper. So still not really making additional lings, not
Yeah, I mean,
going for anything too crazy here.
yeah, more Reapers coming on out. There's the CC follow-up, so what's the laser gonna do? I mean, there's no spine or anything started. There's ling speed's way off. Is this gonna work for uThermal?
I mean, it kind of feels like it will. KDA charge getting dodged pretty well there by Elazer.
One of these
Another
Reapers
Reaper
is weak, but
combat drugs, yo.
yeah, exactly, not weak for long, right? And now he's hopping.
Oh.
But good micro from uThermal, and now he can really start popping off these drones.
Oh, when the KD8 charges start showing up and knocking those queens back, that's when things get bad for the
Yeah,
Zerg.
oh, and he dodges again. The queen's just the only DPS and that can catch these. I mean, speed will be done eventually. uThermal's going up to 5 racks behind this, by the way. He loses his first Reaper there. But uThermal, this is a meta thing. Zergs, when Reapers were prevalent, weren't going for as quick of a third base, and Elazer, he's gone for the standard third base in this meta, and it could cost him right now. But then there's a chance he just gets up enough lings and just bops uThermal, though. So
Very true. I mean, but there are the lings. They're going for the surround here. KD8 charge is a big deal in knocking those guys away.
yeah, a ling counterattack planned, or a surround maybe. It looks like it will be a surround, but uThermal sniffs this out. He's a good player. I mean, and these lings, it's not like they can get into the natural because the barracks were used as the wall. And we're still going to be seeing more and more Reapers come. And look at this. Double engineering bay on the way. And he's still making Reapers. Is he going to get upgrades for his Reapers? I've seen this before. I've seen +1 Reaper a while back, but in this day and age, it's like, I mean, the Reapers are still trading. The KD8 charges don't do as much damage as they used to, so...
Yep, queens getting down, though. That's a huge deal. Killing those queens really helps immensely here.
Still.
Wow, he is committed to this thing.
Oh my god, uThermal, what a legend. And I mean, the fact that he's got all his gases shows that he's not transitioning anytime soon. +1 as well. We'll see Carapace or armor as well. Oh, he's getting surrounded pretty good, though. Oh, this could just be it. uThermal.
He escapes with a bunch of them. This is a lot of speed ling, though.
charges, yeah. Elazer knows that he just needs lings. Okay, maybe we're seeing the reason why Terrans don't do this. uThermal going for the style points, but... Oh, and they're these Reapers. I mean, they're doing a good job kiting back, but now uThermal loses his count. It gets reset. But... Okay, dare I say but. If uThermal keeps making Reapers, and Elazer thinks he's going to transition, because right now all the Reapers are dead, Elazer's got to be thinking he's transitioning, so he's going into drones and queens, but he's not ready for the 1-1 Reaper timing that's going to be hitting him.
Eventually.
Eventually, at some point, yeah. Now the Reapers, they all get out. Nice KD8 charges connecting with a lot of the lings there.
Yeah, droning up behind this is Elazer. He's up 45 to 38 harvesters right now. That +1/+1 is just taking an interminably long amount of time for a uThermal. He wishes he had it, but it's just, it takes, he can't chrono boost it. It takes the time that it takes.
Yeah, exactly. Now, looking at this, I mean, okay, uThermal. He's throwing up more barracks, by the way. He's going up to 8. And he's making a factory now. So some sort of transition is coming in, but it's still just a lot of Reapers. It's going to be 1-1 Reapers.
That timing,
and the +1
10 seconds to go.
Does make a difference here. It actually makes like a serious difference versus the Zerglings.
Yep. Oh, look at him pick off those creep tumors, too. 3 of them with 1 scan. Really going to slow down that creep spread for sure. All right, so +1, 1-1 is complete. Reaper's feeling a little bit more confident now.
Yeah.
They should check for the 4th base, if it exists or not.
See, look at this. The damage they do to queens now. Pretty good. Picks one off.
He didn't get the creep tumor, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, now he's got to worry about these lings getting this round. But KD8 charges for days, and these are +1 Reapers. Elazer's got to be thinking, seriously, guy? You're doing this to me?
I killed all your Reapers. How do you have more? What is going on? It's 8 Reapers at a time, LaughNgamez. 8.
Oh my god. Like, we're 7 minutes in. Oh. uThermal's made more Reapers in this game alone than I bet he has in, like, the past 6 months. Just in normal TvZs. Just... Oh my god. Oh, and he catches all these lings. Look at this. And this is the +1. These Reapers aren't dying. And now Elazer's making more lings. He's going to have his own 1-1 eventually, but the Reapers, there's so many Reapers.
And they just keep getting healed up by the combat drugs, which is wonderful. Them scanning the creep tumors and then not killing them was a little bit weird. Okay, he came back in eventually and got them.
Yeah, it's important to note uThermal does have 3 CCs, though.
Yes. So
you need a good economy for this many Reapers. Look at them just
now.
The lings can't engage. Okay, lots of grenades going down. Reaper's kiting back, and I think that was a decent trade for uThermal. I mean, he lost a few, but the lings going down. Elazer still just making lings scan. I like it. Fighting the queens. He's now picking some of them off. A surround is being attempted once again by Elazer, but these Reapers still got that +1. But Elazer also does have his Carapace soon, so good surround. But these Reapers will survive from the looks of it, and they're going to heal up. Oh my god.
Now. Third base up for uThermal.
uThermal's also got Stim about to finish up as well. He's starting an armory so he can get 2-2 for Reapers. 5 more barracks are on the way.
I can't believe that's not a planetary fortress at his third.
Yeah, I guess he needs the scans or the mules, or Reapers are pretty mobile too for dealing with the lings, so I don't know.
But I mean, I don't know.
A lot of queens are out for Elazer. Reaper's getting on top of some of them, picking off 2 so far.
Yeah, uThermal has no problem engaging directly with queens. It's the lings that bother him. Lings getting into the third base. Oh, the run by.
Yeah, okay.
The third base and the natural and the main have Zerglings inside those mineral
every base, right 23. Okay, this Elazer just says, all right, guy, do what you want to do. I think the best part about this is that Elazer got into uThermal's base and saw the 9 barracks, the 10 barracks.
And said, wait, what? What is happening?
More Reapers are still on the way. Like, I thought he got Stim, just because why not, I guess, but he's still just making Reapers.
He's not transitioning at all.
Is this the new meta, guys?
He has no problem with killing queens.
No, I mean, and just the KD8 charges are so good. Picks off another queen.
Dodges his own KD8 charge there.
Oh my god, this is so good for uThermal. I mean,
another
Lings
are rolling in and just getting massacred. Where did these guys come from?
Oh my god. And the Reapers are winning out, like, yeah. uThermal, I mean, the Lings are just sort of draining in here, and they're just getting picked off. uThermal may have broken his opponent. He's taking so much damage back at home. Like, he's down to 25 SCVs, but this could be it. He could actually win the game right now as he pushes in. There's not that many Lings. Reinforcements are popping for Elazer, but uThermal, fantastic KD8 charges non-stop. And just, oh my god, uThermal. Just Elazer may retire after this game, guys. But
he's got nothing back home. He has 10 SCVs. What is happening?
But now Elazer's gonna start losing drones too. And uThermal's still making like 5 Reapers at a time, so he will have reinforcements.
Moment of silence.
Look
for
at
those
the amount
drones.
of Reapers coming across the map to reinforce this.
Holy crap, this is working.
Oh my god. uThermal. He's up on supply in the army, and that's everything that matters right now. 2-2 is done for Elazer, though, so, I mean,
No, this is so bad for this player.
He's done it, right? Like,
yeah, that's it. I don't think Elazer comes back from this.
Look at this ball of red that just moves. Elazer, go ahead, counterattack. I don't care. I've got this many Reapers.
You can't base race a Terran. I'll just lift off, and then your Lings will do nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And uThermal's at the point he can start like killing off just
buildings.
Buildings.
Yeah. Oh, get those guys too. What are you doing?
I mean, Elazer is building up a pretty significant Ling count though, which is kind of worrying. uThermal's focusing down the Baneling nest. Elazer made an infestation pit. Didn't expect. He was prepared to transition.
He was. See, there's your liftoff.
Yeah, there are a few Banelings out, but I mean, they're slow Banelings at KD8 charges, yeah.
Yeah.
So unless uThermal makes a pretty significant mistake. Oh, Elazer getting us around. Oh my god. Is he going to do it? Is he going to clean the house? The Reaper's kiting back KD8 charges for days going down. Reaper count is falling significantly.
Oh,
uThermal
target firing the Baneling.
Oh, there's more Banelings rolling forward, but the count is dropping. I think Elazer may have done it. Oh my god.
What? That game was insane. Elazer gets the win. There was a moment there where that was working. Or that was a win for uThermal.
Yeah, that was close too. Elazer, I guess at the end, I mean, we can talk about that game non-stop, but Elazer at the end, I guess he managed to survive long enough, and he didn't engage. He stopped engaging at the end and then built up enough lings because uThermal didn't quite, like, cut off the production as quick as maybe he could have. Okay. Wow. That was a 13-minute Reaper game.
13-minute Reapers and nothing but Reapers.
We literally didn't see anything but a Reaper that game.
No. And 2-2 on the Lings was a big deal. When that finished, that really helped Elazer to win that game for sure.
Oh my god. I don't think we'll see that again.
Probably not.
What if we do, though? What if it's the new meta?
The new meta
You
for
just
ZAT
don't stop making
Reaper.
Reapers like in the past.
I really would have liked to see what happened if he actually went for 2-2.
Yeah. I mean...
If uThermal did.
2-2s, that's like, what, 10 Reapers worth of resources?
I think so. That's the problem.
Yeah. I mean... I don't even know what to say about that game. Like... It definitely... uThermal was definitely ahead for a time at the end there, but Elazer did a good job getting enough lings.
Yeah, but just kind of hiding them in places.
And these poor guys, like, after a game like that, there's still another potential 5 matches in this series. It's like, all right, into the next game, moving on.
Moving on. No time to calm down. No time to relax. Just go, 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 go.
I mean, Elazer might see the Reaper Scout if uThermal makes one this game and just start crying. All right. I mean, SCV is moving out for uThermal.
It's a very fast one.
Spotting up the top right-hand side of the map, Liquid uThermal. I doubt it's going to be Reapers this time, but...
APM well over 500 for both of the players at the end of that last game.
Oh my god.
Wow. All right, bottom left-hand corner of Lost and Found. A standard map, but probably going to get cheesed. It is Elazer.
Poor Elazer. I mean, like... I don't even...
Won!
I mean, you almost just want to give Elazer a hug, pat him on the back, and say that it's okay after having to go through a game like that.
But he won. He feels endorphins and elation at the
Did
victory.
he win, though? That's the real question.
Or does he have such terrible PTSD it doesn't matter?
Yeah, I mean, like... Oh, all right. Elazer, he's going to be facing another proxy Rex today. I think this is the third one today. Soul was 1-1 with them. uThermal now breaking it out.
Sounds about right.
And it looks like this Overlord may scout it unless Elazer sends it north. I mean, it's yeah, it is queued to scout unless Elazer decides to change his mind.
Overlord
does see it. Okay, Elazer knows.
Right.
And uThermal, I think he sees this Overlord too, so he knows that Elazer knows.
Yeah, which
and
is also
drones are
important.
actually being pulled already.
Oh, look!
Wow.
The bunker.
Is this an overreaction, though? I mean, every drone is coming. I mean, uThermal can kite back with these Marines.
Not well enough. Marines are slow.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a commitment for Elazer. It's an interesting way to deal with this, but if a few of the Marines bunch up, all right, there's another one popping out. But it does get surrounded. Very well done by Elazer. And now 8 lings are on the way. I don't think uThermal's going to be able to have enough.
Wow, what a response from Elazer. Yeah, and sure, they can't surround you, but you're still dead. Another Marine comes out.
I mean, now
Drones are
Elazer
ready for
hasn't
that
been
too.
mining while this has been going on because he pulled pretty much every drone, but does that matter?
Oh, look at the micro here, too.
uThermal's got a bunker, but that gets canceled. I mean, good. A lot of drones have fallen so far. uThermal, he's building up Marines, but he's not making any... One of his barracks isn't producing, which is a pretty big deal. Okay, and now he's got to deal with all these lings.
Slow lings. Yeah, that's so much harder to deal with.
Yeah, well, they're just a little bit quicker than those drones, so... And now uThermal, I mean...
And hit harder.
Yeah.
So uThermal, I mean, he can't lift off and go home at this point, right?
No, I mean, this was such a commitment. Elazer pulled the drones, and he's got a decent count. GG, yeah.
Whew, scouting, it's important.
I was worried for a second there for Elazer that he'd adjust his Overlord and that it wouldn't go, like players sometimes do.
Classic overthinking it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, the first decision is the best one. Now, Lasers 2-1. I mean, that first game seems so long ago.
It does. We've had a lot of insanity since then.
Alrighty, Acid Plant.
Let's get on in. Get on in.
Thanks to everyone for tuning into this Afreeca World, by the way. It's been a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Pleasure casting, too, so...
Nobody's been stomping over anybody else. It's been close games. It's been cheeses. It's been mass. Who can ask for more than a Mass Reaper game, honestly?
I mean, that was pretty refreshing for TvZ.
It was. Although there was a time in Heart of the Swarm where Mass Reaper was the meta, because 5-Rax Reaper, they did bonus damage to buildings and they could kill roaches pretty easily. So there was nothing Zerg could do against 5-Rax Reaper. And then immediately after, a tournament was just filled with that. Blizz was like, and nerf the crap out of them. So that was the end of the 5-Rax, but we've seen from time to time.
There's been a lot of variant of Reapers over the years.
Yep. Amazing. Amazing stuff. But yeah, that whole bonus damage versus building thing was... I'm not sure what Blizzard was thinking about that particular balance change. Because... fast.
I don't think I was around at that point.
Yeah, no, you weren't. But it was a crazy, crazy time.
Okay, both guys are ready. We're loading on in. The question is Elazer going to really soar ahead, or will uThermal tie it up this game?
I mean, I put my money on Elazer, so Elazer, as long as he doesn't go for roaches again, come on, man. No more roaches. Just be done.
I like to imagine... I think uThermal still is favored. I mean, he lost the Proxy Rax game. I mean, the Reaper game almost worked. But, yeah, I'm still thinking uThermal... Spawn down the bottom right-hand side of the map, playing for Team Liquid. I'm thinking he can pull this back still.
Oh, absolutely. He's very capable of it, but I'm just doubling down on my prediction at this point, so.
Okay.
Elazer. So yeah, bottom left-hand corner, Blizzard, or top left-hand corner. Wow, somehow I read that entirely wrong. It's going to be Elazer.
Alrighty. Yeah, now, uThermal, I mean, he's really dictated the last two games. So we'll see if he just tries to play straight up. I don't mind playing straight up on Acid Plant. Sometimes we see Terrans go for like a 2-base. Lots of bio on a map like this. Tanks as well are all right. So we'll see what uThermal goes for. But we do know that the barracks is where it belongs. Everything's timed out normally. So we will be having a game, I think, more similar to game number 1 as opposed to the last two.
I'm down with it. I'm down with similarities to anything except that Roach Ravager stuff that Elazer did, because that was garbage. So yeah, pretty standard. No proxy stuff this time. No proxy out of Elazer either. So Overlord scanning across the map, checking for the proxies, using the Overlords, but they will find nothing.
Yeah, for sure. There is nothing to find. And that's the thing I like about this final match being a best-of-7. I mean, some tournaments do like a best-of-5, but we're a big fan of the best-of-7 because we get to see all sorts of crazy stuff like this. And these guys, Elazer still needs 2 more map wins. So, yeah, I mean, this series still has a ways to go.
Yeah, it is a baby. It is an infant for sure. Reaper heading on out. Going to play defensive here in case there are lings on the way to try to shut down the construction of that command center. But nah, there's nothing to worry about here. Reaper should really just move out.
Yeah, I mean, it's always that gamble whether the Terran moves out with the Reapers. Some Terrans just blindly do it all the time. But most Terrans these days do follow it up with the Marines, so you can pull a few SCVs, assuming it's not a ton of lings that are coming across the map. So, yeah, I mean, Terrans are pretty comfortable with the way they do it. Personally, I'm horrible at microing when a bunch of lings get into my natural, so I just SCV scout every game, so I have lots of time to prepare.
Smart.
But
smart.
Someone like uThermal can't really afford that when you're playing against someone that is as finely tuned as Elazer. So, but he does get in with this Reaper. Going to try and micro. A lot of bruised Zerglings.
But none of them are dead, and that's what matters. They'll regain that health. Taking an extra shot there from the Queen is not what you want to do as a Reaper. But Reaper checking to see the third base is there and running, and by golly, it's building no problem. Going to try to get maybe in the main base, but at the same time heading home, which I don't know if I agree with. A scout would be really invaluable here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is the matter of the fact that eventually you do want to know what your opponent's going for. It is relatively easy to shut down the Reaper on this map just because of the fact that there's really only one way in it can get to the main base, and once creep is out there, it's tough for it to do so. But uThermal did pull this Reaper back, is waiting for Hellions from the looks of it. I personally do condone sacking the Reaper if he isn't going for the Hellions, but it really does help the Hellions out, so...
Yeah, KD8 charge knocking those Lings away is super useful, getting Queens back too.
Yeah, for sure. Now, we'll just see what else uThermal's going for. It looks like it will be a Raven this time around. So maybe
I like it.
Yeah, we don't see too many Ravens in TvZ, but personally I like it because I mean, if you want, the Terran can clear a creep, but a lot of Terrans don't go for it, so...
Yeah, Special used it quite a bit in Montreal, especially in his... He had a couple games against... God, who did he play? Might have been Scarlet in the group stages, but yeah, he went for that Raven in every one of their games and really made it work pretty well.
uThermal's just going for this, but there is a ton of Lings to intercept this, and he decides against it. That's probably for the best. Yeah,
smart. No need to dive bomb in there and just have everybody die on you. Third command center just not getting instructed by uThermal and his front door.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough choice for the Terran whether they want to dive in. I mean, they generally do try it at some point in the game because the Hellions just lose their value, unless they are going for something like mech, and we don't know if uThermal is going for that, but we see Bio now as a stim started and the extra barracks, so we'll see. I mean, uThermal, he's up to, what, 7 Hellions? 8 Hellions, actually, so...
It's a goodly number.
8 Hellions and a Reaper can really tango with a lot of units, and he may just go in. I mean, Elazer made the normal amount of Lings, but there's 2 extra Hellions right now, and he's just frying these Lings, so Elazer could be in trouble right now.
The Queens are trying to help out, but they don't do as much damage versus the Hellions that the Zerglings do. 9 drones down. Target firing pretty well. Splitting pretty well, too, though, as Elazer.
Oh, these Hellions can get into the main base, though, and 1 or 2 more shots in the main, and this reaches critical levels of damage. 15 drones gone down so far.
Where are the Queens going? Come back!
Yeah, 20 drones going down. This has been fantastic for uThermal. Making those 2 extra Hellions, then diving on in there. It's one of those things. Elazer wasn't quite prepared for that. He had the normal amount of preparation, but it's tough to identify that. And there's actually... Is there 2 Ravens for uThermal now? Yeah, there is. He's going for that old age Raven harassment from sort of earlier on. And now he's killed 23 drones. These Ravens can hang out, throw auto turrets in every now and then. And uThermal's got a 3rd base up. He's heading into Bio.
He's looking pretty. Looking pretty darn good. Anytime you can kill that many workers of your Zerg opponent, it's a really, really good place to be. Auto turret, getting some shots off on this Queen, getting some shots off on the Evolution Chamber, and it's just free units. It's just energy that uThermal was able to toss down here.
I mean, even if you don't kill any drones, it denies mining time, which is just fantastic.
Yep. Lair on the way here, too, from Elazer. Working on +1/+1 for his Link, which indicates he's not going for the road trap play, which I am super, super happy to see. Another auto turret goes down. Zerglings actually kind of trying to kill this thing faster so drones don't die as fast, but 2 get killed, and that's an acceptable
that's
number.
For a free auto turret, it's pretty darn good. And there's another 2 going down.
And then some Zerglings. Sure, why not? Any damage done by an auto turret is good damage.
There's more auto turrets going down. Can focus down another drone or 2, and he will. Oh, Transfuse saves it. Oh, that is sick. Transfusing units like drones is basically just like holding up a big sign that says, I am good at StarCraft 2. So well done by Elazer there.
That was beautiful. I'm not sure if I've seen that before. Anyway, yeah, stuff is happening. An armory on the way from uThermal. Working on that +1/+1. He wants to be able to do +2/+2 when the time comes. Centrifugal hooks on the way for the Banelings, and 5 Banelings and 20 Zerglings. And what is going to be your other tech, man? You can't just go Ling Baneling here and expect it to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the lair, right? So the question is, maybe he is just focusing on the Ling Bane in order to make sure he defends what's coming his way. But eventually, yeah, you're right. He will want something else.
Although that said, if you remember, he did have that pretty nice attack. That Ling Baneling attack that just won it against Soul.
Yeah, I was actually going to mention that. Like, uThermal, he's moving out with the drops. I mean, he does have tanks back at home, so he won't be as exposed as Soul, and he's not being as greedy. Because it does look like uThermal is planning for that eventual mid-game attack where Soul was macroing up. But, yeah, I mean, a Ling counterattack can always get something done.
Yep. So another base on the way here from Elazer. He's working on that +2/+2, getting an infestation pit. He might just be going for ultras here. A very fast ultra play would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, uThermal might not be expecting that because Zerg players usually, in this day and age, are going for a lot of Hydras, or going even Mutas more often than they rush Ultras these days.
True fact. But if your opponent only has Marines, it's pretty great, especially if you have Infestor support.
Oh, exactly. And uThermal only does have Marines. He does still have the 2 Ravens alive, which could come down to helping versus Ultras.
Forcing a cancel on that 5th base. Nicely done, uThermal. Just being everywhere.
Yeah, very
There's
well
not
done
a
there.
Spire. These drops are going to be very effective.
That certainly is true. I mean, it's that situation. Zerg has no anti-air.
And not even Ravagers this time. Like, that's how dire this is for Elazer trying to deal with drops.
Yeah, it is a 4th base on the way for uThermal, but as you said, Elazer does look like he's going to be going right into those quick Ultras. So uThermal, I think the sooner that he identifies this, the better. I mean, there is no anti-air, so even if he makes a few Liberators, that's really all Terran can need in certain positions. And so we'll see. uThermal is pushing, though.
Oh, tank fire on that Baneling. Those couple Banelings here. Target firing the Banelings. Terran players have gotten really good at that over the last couple of years. It used to be you'd only see it from players like Beyond or Innovation, but now it seems like everybody at any level playing pro is very capable of it.
Yeah, what I like that uThermal's doing right now is that he is pushing in so slowly. Some Terrans would go completely gung-ho trying to get to the Zerg right now, but he knows that Elazer has a ton of Zergling Bane, so he needs to really make sure that he's prepared for the engagement. But Elazer could be going for it right now, and he is. But these tanks on the low ground getting off fantastic shots.
So many tanks. Too many tanks. I don't know if he can go for Ultra here. The tank count is too high. The upgrades are too good. There's 9 tanks already.
Oh, man. Yeah, you're right. Now, he is opting for 3-3, which will help out, make sure that he's on par on upgrades. But he might not live that long because uThermal does want to get some damage. And Vipers are on the way.
Alright, so some Blinding Cloud would be pretty useful here against these tanks. Working on 3-3 for his Zerglings and Banelings and Ultras, which he doesn't have yet and perhaps never will. But spreading creep out, he really wants to prevent uThermal from getting in this little divot, in this little valley in the ground, because tanks get set up in there and surrounds are impossible.
Yeah,
also,
I mean, as time goes, Elazer, like, the game is going to be getting better for Elazer as long as he can hang on, which is his primary focus right now. But uThermal definitely wants to make something happen here.
So sending a small hit squad of Marines in just to bait into the tank fire, just to see what's going on in that area. Coming up with some reinforcements from the left side, perhaps trying to threaten that 5th base on the left side for Elazer, or perhaps just trying to join the rest of the party here.
Either way, it's going for a surround right now. And a lot of uThermal's army is not actually grouped up, so I mean, he's pretty segmented right now. Just look, he's got reinforcements incoming, but on the left side he's fighting Elazer, so he's got to be careful not to get sort of surrounded here, but Elazer is certainly looking for a surround or something along those lines. Yeah, here we are, Banelings on 3 angles right now, and Elazer's going for it.
All right, all 3 directions coming in. Baneling's getting some decent connections on some of these Marines, but he's off creep. So kiting's going to be pretty good here. However, the tanks are getting absolutely obliterated. Decent hit there. Again, Baneling's retreating from the location. Zerglings trying to kill what remains, but I think there might be enough here from uThermal to keep pushing anyway.
Oh, Baneling landmine. Elazer sneaking those in, being so good at the game. But an anti-armor missile did hit a lot of his Zerglings here. So he can't engage. These Lings will just die so quickly versus this bio.
They have negative armor right now.
That is never a good thing. An auto turret even going down, going to help out with the Banelings. Parasitic Bomb
Blinding
goes down
Cloud
on the Medivacs as well, so Elazer may be able to clean this up. uThermal also losing a lot of these Medivacs, and he's being forced back. Both these guys have big banks, but the later the game goes, the better it is going to get for Elazer. uThermal, he's throwing up more CCs. He was slowly going into the late game, but now he's really accepted that he didn't manage to kill Elazer there, and this situation isn't going to get any easier for him.
Yeah, not happening at all. There we go. There's the Ultraless Cavern. I was going to say, he's killed a lot of tanks. There's only 3 on the field right now for uThermal, down from the 10 or 11 that he had previously. So Ultra's going to be a lot more effective. There are some Liberators. He is triple pumping Ultras. He has to assume, or triple pump Marauders rather. He has to assume that Ultras are coming at some point. based on the upgrades, based on the Baneling stuff that he's been seeing, and really no other tech.
Liberator is going to spot all of these units here. Tank left out on the left side, but there's a lot going on right now. It looks like Elazer may be thinking of pushing forward. uThermal's really been pushed back into his side of the map, and look at Elazer's creep spread and just general map vision.
Disgusting. It's everywhere. It's the right side, it's the left side, it's down the middle path as well. We do have multi-pronged stuff. That third base of Elazer is under assault. I think a Liberator made it up there, and same thing, Liberator kind of heading out on the left side here too.
Yeah, Liberator harassment very good in a situation like this because it doesn't really matter what your opponent has. A Liberator can always get some damage done. But Elazer is going to deal with that. uThermal now scanning forward, seeing that one Baneling there that was left over.
Like, you're not getting me again.
Now, Elazer may actually be baited forward here right now, and he's got units on the left side, but they're not here for a surround just yet. uThermal's still got a ton of bio.
He's running into the fourth base of uThermal.
The planetary there.
Yeah,
a lot of Banelings. Oh, Banelings roll forward, get pretty decent connections there.
Maybe not enough, though. There's still a lot of bio left here. The Ultras a pop. They're working on chitinous plating. They're almost fully upgraded, but not quite there yet. Still, making sure that the Terran player cannot set up camp in that little divot where uThermal keeps trying to go. Fusion Core on the way. I'm not sure if that's for Battlecruiser or Liberator range.
I imagine Liberator range just to help deal with the Ultras, help the Liberators stay further out from the Corruptors. Also for harassment, just uThermal really realizing what he's up against, and he's trying to secure the fifth base, which is so critical. This is a very good defensive position for Terran.
Kill his own Marines there? Maybe to free up supply. Yeah, there's the Liberator range being researched. Pushing it back. This creep. Zergling's trying to attack into that third base.
Looks like Elazer's going to be going for it. uThermal isn't quite in position to deal with this. He's forced to kite back, but he's kiting onto the Zerg's creep right now, so he's going to have to lift up and boost away. Parasitic Bomb going down on the Medivacs, though. So these units need to abandon ship, and this is the fifth base. This is such a critical location, but uThermal's going to be forced to abandon it right now. I mean, uThermal's actually up on supply by a fair bit, but he's just busy with drops. He sent units out all over. He's going to be hitting the, I guess, 6th base or 7th base. He's going to be getting reset up, but picking off that base was very nice for Elazer.
Yeah, uThermal is actually he gets the hatch on the right side. Elazer's response was not quite quick enough to get there and save it.
Yeah, Elazer does have a fair few hatches still available to him, though, but he will want to reestablish that at some point. But it's not completely dire or anything losing that base just yet. That's sort of an affordable
Here he goes again. Corruptors picking off the Liberators. Baneling's trying to get some hits here, but that's a lot of Marauder and not enough ult.
This is just a ton of bio right now. If we look at Elazer's army supply, he's less than uThermal, and a chunk of it, well, 15 Corruptors are there, so that's a ton of his army supply. That's not actually going to help versus the bio. And look at this setup uThermal's getting. Marines focusing down Corruptors who tried to pick off a Liberator or two.
Yeah, Liberator's still hanging out, still setting up that zone of safety here. Baneling's trying to come in. 20 of them in production, a couple more lagging behind their brothers and sisters.
Yeah, uThermal really has been just putting on the aggression this entire game, and Elazer's pushing in, but there's so many tanks here right now. More Liberators coming on in, and there may just not be enough Zerg. The Marines avoiding the Banelings. The Corruptors are picking off a good chunk of the Liberators.
Yeah, but Liberator count not healthy right now.
Yeah, for sure. And also the Medivac count non-existent. Goodling counterattack at the third base by Elazer. Gonna pick off a sensor tower, force uThermal's attention back. uThermal's army is very, well, not very stimmed, but can't really afford any more stims as he's got 1 or 2 Medivacs. He's producing more, which is good to see, but Broodlords are on the way. I mean, they haven't really been a factor this game, but Elazer says, you don't actually have an answer to these, do you? You're busy dealing with Ultras, so very good choice by Elazer to go for this. And this situation is going to become much more rough for uThermal.
Yeah, brilliant tech switch here. Using that defender mode upgrade advantage there to get some shots off on that 7th base. Corruptors trying to get the Medivacs. Viper jumped in to do something, and here come the Broodlords. Viking production has begun for uThermal, but he doesn't have enough resources or production to really go nuts with it quite yet. And suddenly the Broodlords are just taking down this tank count. They're going after the Marines. They're going after the Marauders here, too. This is just such a brilliant play out of Elazer.
Yeah, he's really babysitting these Broodlords, too, which is very important. I mean, there's the only way that he sees he can lose this game is if the Broodlords are super exposed. They're kind of exposed right now. uThermal may see this as an opportunity to stim forward on him, but the Banelings are there, too, so yeah, uThermal
tried to
forced
go
back.
for it. Couldn't quite do it. Corruptor's getting rid of the Liberators here.
There's hardly any anti-air here for uThermal.
It's Marauders and it's tanks and it's a Liberator or two and a Viking.
Pick off one of the Broodlords, which will help out, but yeah, this situation, I mean, another nice Ling counterattack at the third base. Very well done by Elazer. And uThermal, I mean, it looks like Elazer has just done what he needed to do. He's survived. uThermal's going to push forward. There's not too much on the ground here immediately, but these Banelings coming in will force uThermal back. Transfuse for days.
Transfuse is on the Broodlords. Oh, what a beautiful play.
Oh, GG. Elazer manages to take the 3-1 lead. And this guy, he's the Afreeca World monster. He heard that Elazer, or that Solar had won as many of these tournaments as he did. And now he says, no, I got to come back and win this one.
And he is so far pretty correct. So far pretty right there. What a play from Ling Baneling Viper into Ultralisk into a Broodlord transition that just uThermal wasn't prepared for. He saw them. He's tried to make Vikings, but it was too late. He's frantically trying to get the anti-air that he needs. But nope, that is a negatory Ghost Rider. Couldn't do it. And now it is a 3-1 lead for Elazer in this best of 5. He is proving he belongs and deserves to win this tournament. See what this next game is gonna be. What map are we looking at here? Looks like there may be some things we need to clear up here before we move on.
Yeah,
to the
it
next
looks like uThermal may be having some tech issues. Yeah, so we may throw to a quick break here while we get let uThermal get this sorted out. Obviously, he wants to be playing with the best conditions, so make sure that he reboots his PC or something like that.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess we'll throw to a quick break here, and thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to stay tuned. We're not done. It's a best of 7. Elazer still needs that one more map. But yeah, so we'll be back in just a minute here.
Yeah, stick with us. We'll be back.
Again.
Alrighty,
guys, I apologize for that short bit of downtime, but we want these guys to be on best possible conditions, so we're going to be getting into the next map here.
Sweet. Man, uThermal back against the wall here. He needs to win 3 straight games to win this whole thing, which is a tall order for anybody to fulfill.
Yeah.
Doing it against Elazer especially is just super hard.
Yeah, because you got to be playing 100% to beat Elazer.
Yeah.
I mean, you could try. You could try just to proxy Raxum every game and just hope that the odds come out in your favor, but that's not likely to happen. So, spawning up on the top left-hand side of the map, he's got a mountain to climb. Liquid uThermal.
And spotting in the bottom right-hand corner, feeling pretty comfortable with himself and his play. It's going to be Elazer.
Yeah, I mean, Soul, took Elazer to the ace match. So, I mean, he's already lost map to uThermal, but he seems to really be, sort of waking up and refining his play as the day goes on. I mean...
Yeah, whatever it is, he's waking up for sure. Took some caffeine, maybe.
Yeah, who knows? He thought, wait a second, I'm not supposed to lose, as he was getting close versus Soul there, and then turned it on, so... But, yeah, it looks like uThermal CC first, by the way.
Wow, he's one away from going CC first.
Well,
that takes a lot of intestinal fortitude, I believe is what they call it.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been uploaded yet, but remember that Future did this when we cast yesterday?
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe he wants to play that late game and just get set up for it. I doubt we'll see a battle cruiser rush, but we saw Mass Reapers, so who knows?
We did.
So we
it's
can't
not
put
out of the question.
Anything past uThermal at this point. And maybe that's
No.
what you need to do versus Elazer. Like, Elazer is such a solid Zerg. To throw him off, you really have to go for something completely sort of like abstract, and maybe that's what uThermal's going for.
Just makes him question all of his life's decisions. Like, how did I
Yeah.
get here?
It's like, well, if Mass Reaper doesn't work,
I'd love to see a battle cruiser here just for fun, just to be
just
like,
for
you know what?
funsies, yeah.
Nobody does this.
Maybe players do though, so who knows? Like, it's sort of funny. Like, you hear, like, you'll just be like watching a stream or something, or hearing reading pro gamers talk, and they'll be like, it's like this crazy build, man. And the worst thing is, it actually works.
Incoming meta shift. Oh no.
Like, I mean, pro gamers, like, I mean, at StarCraft 2, there's a lot of options for things to go for.
Yes.
That's
the best part. I really feel like the game is in its best position when every unit is viable in some way in every matchup.
Oh, yeah, and Blizzard's done a good job with that. I mean, like, even the Thor,
Yeah.
I mean, may not be used after it gets nerfed again. But,
sure, but right now it's amazing against Ling Bling Muta. So good.
Yeah, for sure. And then, but yeah, I mean, like, just for odd builds, something that's completely awesome in StarCraft 2, because it's not like, okay, maybe there's a few too many proxies and TVPs, people may agree, and maybe that needs a bit of work, but everything else, like, there's so much variety in the game right now.
Yep, it's in a beautiful, beautiful place. And they're trying to make the battlecruiser more viable, talked about some proposed balance changes. They're trying to make, I mean, there's some stuff, like Carrier wasn't really used at all for a long time. They made that better, and now it's part of the matchup.
Yeah,
so I really like the balance team looks at balancing, but also trying to make units that never get used, because the game is best when you're not quite sure what you're going to see, because there's so many possibilities.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I mean, we're still just waiting for this game to sort of develop. I figure I'll go on a tangent here. Random build, like as I was saying, pro gamers sometimes just change things up and go for builds that could be deemed bad. In the GSL Super Tournament qualifiers, Tasia was 1 game away from qualifying against Sue. And one of the builds he went for was like 16 Marine, non-stim timing. Just didn't go for stim. And it's like, why on earth would you do a build like that? And it just falls completely flat on his face. Like, he loses some of the Marines and it just goes so wrong. But then, like, you hear from Special and TY, it's like, no, it's actually a good build. He just didn't do it right. It's just things like that.
God, so incredible. Just always still evolving to this day. I mean, the meta for Brood War is evolving and changing, and that hasn't had a balance change in a decade at this point.
Oh, I know. I mean, I personally don't follow the Brood War scene too closely or anything like that. Like, I'll pay attention to what tournaments and stuff are going on, but the actual meta and stuff. But like, yeah, it's just crazy how you hear about like things are still changing, just people still playing the game. It's just amazing.
Yeah, if you load up a replay from 2012 and compare it to one to today, they're entirely different. You can totally tell it's from a different era in Brood War, which is fantastic. Hellions trying to swing on in. Queen's ready for him. Got a Liberator sneaking down that left side, too. Going to try to get some damage done over there. There's not actually a 4th base quite yet for Elazer. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't thrown one down yet.
Give it, like, I'd say 30 seconds or so, and we'll see it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, remember that last game? The damage that uThermal got done with the Hellions.
Yeah, like, and then Elazer didn't even really blink. He was just like, yeah, we're good.
Oh, here he comes in again, though. I mean, drones are sort of in the line of fire here, but looks like the Hellions will go down. May get a few more drones. 6, 7, 8. 9 is the total.
9. So it's not 20.
Yeah, it's not 20, and I mean, uThermal lost that game with 20, so... But, I mean, completely different situations. And interestingly enough, we haven't seen Hydras out of Elazer yet.
That's true. Hasn't gone Hydra.
Could be this
What else hasn't... Is there anything else he hasn't made yet? Hasn't made any Infestors. He's made an Infestation Pit to tech up, but no Infestors, actually.
Yeah, so, I mean, but he's really showing that he's dynamic, and, I mean, he's winning being dynamic. Like, past tournaments, he has just gone, like, mass Lingbane Hydra, and it works, so he just destroyed everyone, but maybe he knows that the Hydra nerf is coming in, so he's changing that up a little bit.
Just preparing for Hydras not being quite as good.
Yeah.
Would be smart. Yeah. Would be very, very smart for him to do that. Yeah, I don't know. Do you feel like the Hydra was overpowered in its current state?
I feel as if it was a little bit too well-rounded, personally, but I mean, obviously I'm partially biased, but I mean, Zergs were pretty much just making Lingbane Hydra in a lot of games. I definitely agree that the Hydra needed to be good, and it maybe just be a little bit too good, like sort of too catch-all, because Zergs for a long time, it was always like, okay, I'll either make roaches, but if I make roaches, I generally have to be pretty aggressive with them and get something done because they become useless after a time. But then Hydras, on the other hand, when Hydras sort of became relevant, it's like, oh, these units are actually pretty good no matter the time in the game. So
yeah, they're pretty good. That said, they don't do well against tanks or storm or disruptors or I mean, there's a lot of things that can just make your Hydras. Right?
Oh, for sure. But yeah, I mean, Hydras are still pretty good. But yeah, we'll see. I'm sure Blizzard will find like a happy medium ground for them. I mean, that's the thing with like the balance changes. They make so many changes at once. It's like, how exactly will things play out? No one really knows.
Let's see what happens. The
yeah,
best part.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Blizzard's sort of just like, hold my beer. We're gonna do this.
Hope we don't break the game too badly.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh well, it'll be the off season for a bit. We can try and get things figured out by then. Now, interestingly enough, Elazer skipping those Hydras once again. And skipping anti-air once again, but I mean, it is Parasite. It's such a big map that it is tough for the Terran to clear creep. Like, look at Elazer. I mean, he's just got so much creep spread.
7.5 minute hive. That's crazy talk.
That's like early Legacy of the Void, where we'd see like 6-minute hives and stuff, in which Zergs were like, must get ultras.
They're so good, and they were, and now they're pretty balanced, I'd say.
Yeah, there's definitely, I mean, Elazer's doing a good job. Like, it's pretty impressive that Elazer is just getting to ultras while just playing Lingbane Hydra. I mean, the map definitely is helping him, but I mean, uThermal, I mean, it's kind of worrying what he is doing, like just going for tanks and marines when, I mean, you're leaving this Zerg untouched. You will eventually need something else. You're not going to be able to push out on Parasite just with enough tanks and bio. You can try, but it's probably not going to work. So,
and especially not with this creep spread that is ridiculous. They are talking about reducing the time or the speed of creep spread, which I think is probably a good idea. We're at 8 minutes. And the creep is pushing up on this third base of uThermal. Like, that's kind of insane.
Delaying it a little bit, I think, is fine. Now, because it did get that buff, didn't it?
Yeah, it got a buff, and then it also reduced more quickly, too. When you kill a tumor, it dies faster than it used to.
Yeah,
so
which definitely is good, but yeah, for sure. Now, uThermal flying over these lings.
Queen not getting any shots off at all. All right, uThermal says, I'm going to get here. 4 ultras are a thing. How's that sound? Pretty smart. Tank setting up on the creep, waiting for it to recede. Marines checking the flanks. So no surrounds are all that possible. Oh, Ling counterattack. Get in. Get in. Oh, the door comes up just in time. Rolling on into the third base, trying to get something done again. Friendly fire tank splash.
Burrowed Banelings. Did uThermal see those?
Burrows?
They're right on his doorstep.
Ooh.
They were getting shot, and uThermal just said, right, I'll burrow these. That'll solve that.
Big attack down towards the south here. Going for it. Got Banelings. Target fired very nicely, though. Still 3 tanks. Still a lot of Marines here from uThermal. Double Spire coming up.
Yeah, uThermal charging onto creep is a little bit worrisome, but he's got more tanks rolling forward. As long as you pre-split, pardon me, that's sort of like the most important part. Lings are getting caught by these tanks. Oh, some friendly tank fire could slaughter some SCVs.
The burrowed Banelings!
Oh, man.
Almost. Is he sitting right on top? Oh, I don't know. All right, third base is a ghost town. But Hatch goes down here for Elazer as well. More Zerglings. The Marine thinking about going home, but they can't because a huge army shows up.
He's got a split, but there's so many Banelings. Tanks doing their best, but looks like he will get cleared here. Yeah, just...
We're still on creep. The tumors were dead, but you're still on creep.
So uThermal, he's being forced back. I mean, both these guys have traded off a lot of supply. But, I mean, uThermal, he did try to go for that heavy tank push, so he never got a 4th base. He killed one of the bases for Elazer, but he's got 6 still.
Yeah, Elazer's okay on production.
Yeah, I mean...
3-3, just now finishing for his Lings and Banelings and Hydras. Or Ultras, rather.
Yeah, speaking of Ultras, he hasn't made any just yet.
Does he have a cab?
No, he just went double Spire.
That's weird.
Maybe he wants the Broodlords or something?
It's like, we'll just skip the whole Ultra stage of the last game and go right for Broodlords.
Skip Roaches, skip Hydras, skip Infestors, skip Ultras. What are you going for?
Just straight Broodlord, man. That's all you need.
I mean, he's done well with his Lings so far, and let me guess, he's got, yeah, he does have that adrenal glands, or Zergling attack speed, pardon me.
Yeah, adrenal glands it is. No Vikings at all for uThermal. He's making some Liberators. Exactly the idea. He did scan. Did he find the Spires? He found the double Spire, and he saw their upgrading. Okay, so at this point, Marine production, Viking production, Banelings trying to get a crash into that natural base, getting shut down quite nicely. There are still these 3 Banelings here that...
just
two.
one. Oh, but now here comes the Ling run by. There's tons of reinforcements for uThermal to deal with this, though. And uThermal's moving out once again. I mean, he's up on army supply. Like, Elazer has been sticking on this tech, maybe just a little bit too long. I mean, now that there's a decent amount of Marauders for uThermal, it's possible.
It is 91 to 53 Harvesters left.
Oh my god. I mean, Elazer, if he holds this, he'll be in a fantastic spot, but uThermal is up on army supply. He's got tanks, he's got Marauders this time, and Elazer is literally just on Ling Bane still. But
Ling Bane Corruptor, which is nice.
It is a lot of Ling Bane, though. 43 Banelings versus 57 Marines and 6 Marauders. The tanks are going to have to be the real heroes here. And uThermal, he's really dictating how this is going. Got the surround coming in. The Marines, they're going to split back, but the tank...
Oh my gosh.
I think, yeah, GG. Elazer. He's done it again, guys.
4-1 victory in the finals of the Invitational. Takes home another trophy. Well done by the Zerg player from Poland.
There. Yeah, just what can we say? He played well.
We can say whoo.
I mean, Elazer, he's got a tradition of coming into Afreeca Worlds and making the finals not too close, but our previous champion fell, who was Petit Drogo, and the other champions didn't manage to beat Elazer. He's sort of like the king of Afreeca World. This is going to put him up to 6-1. So
absolutely, just outstanding play from him. It sticks on Baneling for so long. Finally get some Corruptors out, and that's all it takes. Baneling Corruptor versus this Marine Marauder tank play. So many Banelings attacking on creep. uThermal not quite patient enough.
Yeah, Elazer just playing so well. Yeah, but I mean, well played to Elazer. As is tradition, we always invite the winner to the next Invitational. So the next Europe Invitational we do, we'll certainly have Elazer there. Maybe some new faces to take him on. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning on in. It's been a great tournament. It's always good to do one of these EU events. And congratulations to Elazer on winning this one.
Yeah, super fantastic. Well played by him. Really, really fun first Afreeca World Invitational for me to cast. Really happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you for coming out. It's always great to have a co-caster. First time. I mean, it's yeah, but it's awesome to have you. So feel free to shout out where you are, where you're from, and whatnot, or well, internet-wise, I guess.
We've had the links up all the tournaments so far, but yeah, I'm mostly on YouTube at youtube.com/FalconPaladin. You can also find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /FalconPaladin. Pretty easy to find out there. I've been doing some StarCraft Remastered stuff out on the Twitch if you're interested in that stuff, and also StarCraft 2 and Brood War things on the channel throughout the rest of the week. It's a new StarCraft cast every day of the week, going on 3.5 years now. So if you want content,
that's
feel free to come hang out.
Dedication there.
It's been a lot, and it's been a lot of fun.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you don't do it if you don't love it. So, but yeah, thanks to everyone who came in to watch. Make sure to check out us on Twitter, YouTube, everything. It's all linked there. It's all in the announcement and stuff. But yeah, thanks for coming out to cast Falcon Paladin. It's been a pleasure. And we do these invitationals pretty much every 2 weeks, so make sure to keep your eye out, guys.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Bye, everyone.
Bye.